So the other day I was just thinking to myself, right? Am I too old for wrestling? I don't know. Am I? Is it too late? It's been a while since I watched wrestling.
Wrestling?
What is up, y'all? It's your boy Nick, and I'm back with a nice little yapping video. Normally I do these standing up, but I thought I'd make these a little bit short. You know what I mean? Because we're running out on time. You know what I mean? I gotta get that Christmas video out. It's almost Christmas. Literally, Christmas is next week. Oh God, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this in time. I just wanted to get this out the way because I had epiphanies, I guess you could say. Not even epiphanies. It's just more so I just feel like I wanted to talk about this. It's just something that was looming in my mind. Am I too old for wrestling? For me, I'ma say yes, and for you, I'ma say it's up to you. I can't control what you like and don't like. I'm gonna be honest, I've been a long time wrestling fan since, okay, maybe not a long time, but I've been a fan of wrestling as a child, just like every other boy growing up in the, early to mid, even late 2000s or 2010s, you know what I mean? Well, more so mid to late 2000s, but I really enjoyed that era of wrestling, the ruthless aggression era of wrestling, with your Randy Orton's, Edge, Matt Hardy, everybody's favorite black wrestler, Matt Hardy, Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Batista, Kurt Angle, Triple H, all the great golden time wrestling. Now I was kind of past, Rock was before my time. I can't even really say The Rock and Stone Cold. I mean, I messed with Stone Cold heavy because he's from Texas, but Stone Cold was also before my time, so I can't even really say those. But that's the ruthless aggression era. That's my expertise of wrestling. I ain't gonna lie to you, and I loved it. As a kid growing up, every Monday, Friday, Monday Night Raw, and Friday Night SmackDown. Best entertainment. And I think we had ECW too, if I'm not mistaken, right? We had ECW, TNA, Impact, all these great wrestling things. The toys were amazing, the merchandise was amazing, the atmosphere was amazing, the wrestling was amazing. I know a lot of wrestling fans, y'all may like if you didn't grow up around this era, like if you're not around that era age, like people say that the generation before was probably the better one, which is like I can't even argue it because it looked fire. I'm not gonna lie to you. I stayed a little bit for the PG era. I think I kind of clocked out around 2011, 2012. So this was right during or before John Cena's, what do y'all call him?
Name is John Cena!
Super Cena era. This was before the Super Cena era, so I was kind of tapped out after that though. But I would say that was a great time back in the day type ish. Now I'm gonna be honest, I just recently watched these, and this is why I'm making this video, because I just recently watched these two events, Saturday Night Live, I think it was called, or Saturday Night Main Event, and Survivor Series War Games. Now I've just recently kind of got my wrestling bug back a little bit. I've been watching documentaries. If you haven't seen the Vince McMahon documentary, I implore you to watch it. Is employ? I don't know what the right word is. Just watch it. I thought it was pretty good, decent. Getting into a lot of wrestling content. I've been watching this YouTuber called, I think it was the Wrestling Gifts. Shout out to that man. A lot Wrestlaholic. I think there's a lot of them there. I had a page here just watching good wrestling content. I started watching wrestling shows. I watched I think it was Heel from on Netflix, if you haven't seen it, or HBO. Great series. I need a season 3. HBO. I need a season 3. I've been just really just like trying to, I don't know if I'm just in that age where we start to, nostalgia is a thing type ish. I kind of feel it. But I really feel like wrestling was just really just actually just a different time back in the day. I've just recently just got into watching wrestling now, and I gotta say, it just doesn't really feel the same to me. Not that it's bad or anything, because I think there's a couple cool things. I feel like the women's wrestling has gotten way better. Now, mind you, I haven't watched since like 2011, so my first real wrestling thing that I've even really watched was this Survivor Series War Games. I've been seeing clips here and there, but not really of wrestling per se, but more of the behind the scenes. Now, I know the prominent wrestlers like, Rhea Ripley. I think Rey Mysterio's kid is a wrestler now or something like that. Some of the newer acts, I know some of them at least. I'm just starting to get into them. I was before Roman Reigns, so before even Roman Reigns got into, he had his era, I was before Roman Reigns, so I don't know nothing about Roman Reigns and the bloodline. I know that he's related to like The Rock and all that stuff. I'm not gonna lie, Roman Reigns is kind of fire. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of wish I didn't really miss that era, but at the same time, your boy we was outside, so I wasn't really trying to be tapped into the wrestling and stuff like that. I will say from what I've seen, I have a mixed feeling. I don't know if this is just, I guess, a old wrestling fan, I guess, to new now that, I feel like when I watched these two events, they just weren't really, they didn't really hit the same as and obviously, yes, obviously, as a kid, obviously it's gonna hit different. I feel like wrestling is one of those hobbies that you just don't never really let go. Once you're invested in wrestling, you just can't really get out. It's impossible. I feel like for me, it's definitely because I just was really heavily into wrestling. I really liked wrestling a lot. So it's like trying to wean myself back onto it. I kind of find it kind of difficult because I'm like, I was really feeling like, what is really missing here? Now, I will say the lady wrestlers, like definitely way better than they were back in the day type. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day is crazy. Because if I'm not mistaken, there wasn't really that much lady wrestling because they were just called the Divas. I mean, they were wrestling. Don't get twisted. Like, Michelle McCool and Trish Stratus and all them. Like, they were wrestling, yes. But, like, from what I've seen in the new ladies wrestling, like, I feel like it's kind of night and day. Now, I will say, I ain't gonna lie. Jade Cargill, I ain't gonna lie to you, boy. That's besides the point, though. I know she's married, but that don't got nothing to do with me. Oh! Yeah, I said it. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I see some of the lady wrestling. Now, mind you, I've only seen 2 events. I haven't even really watched any Raw or SmackDown or AEW. I think it's the other one, right? The other one. I don't know. I haven't really watched any of that. So I know coming this next year, Netflix is bringing Raw onto Netflix, which I think I'm gonna start trying to get into it because I'm not gonna lie, I've been seeing some of the storylines, right? We have the Roman Reigns storyline. I think we have that Rhea Ripley, and I forgot the other girl that people are like, she's the current champion or something. They have a whole storyline. Wrestling fans, if y'all see this, you know what I'm saying? Like, on the main channel, obviously. Please, like, you know what I mean? Like, put me on the game. Come through on the Twitch on twitch.tv/viewtifulxnick. Put me onto some game. I really want to give this second renaissance of me getting into wrestling a chance, because I'm not gonna lie, after seeing these last 2 events, I know there's a lot of main events. Like, mind you, reason why I'm really trying to get really back into wrestling, because, everybody knows we're reaching that era or that day where a lot of the wrestlers that, I grew up on is starting to retire. And the biggest one that's retiring right now is John Cena. And we all know when like, John Cena retiring from the WWE is damn near like LeBron retiring from the NBA. And, WrestleMania is coming up soon. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go to WrestleMania because, that is expensive, you know what I'm saying? And your boy ain't got money like that. But I would love to see, that man wrestle one more time, you know what I mean? Because it's getting to that point. I know that he's retiring from wrestling, you know what I mean? Just like Batista, just like a lot of them. A celebration of John Cena. He's really everybody's dad for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? We all grew up on John Cena. If you're watching this, you grew up on John Cena if you were a wrestling fan. This is a very important wrestling event. And I just really that's really why my primary reason why I'm starting to get back to wrestling. Because I want to know what's going on with my boy John Cena. And I want to know what's going on with, like, things of that nature. I haven't watched any of the WrestleMania. I haven't watched this year's WrestleMania. I know Cody Rhodes is the world champion or something like that. I'm not really too caught up on the storylines. I know really primarily just the bloodline storyline, because I think that's the main one for the most part, if I'm not mistaken. I know about Jimmy Uso, whatever that Solo, and I ain't gonna lie to you, Solo, not gonna lie, I've seen some of the clips. That man is horrible. He's bad. I don't like him. He's not we're not even gonna talk about that. I saw, like I said, I've seen a lot, you know what I mean? I watched the Survivor Series, War Games. I think for the most part it was actually pretty good. I think some of the matches were kind of like, booty cheeks. I'm not gonna lie. Some of them were kind of booty cheeks. I seen crowd reception. They weren't, the crowd wasn't really like into a lot of them. But the 2 main ones that I seen were the women's one, Elimination Chamber, and the main one with the Bloodline, and obviously Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Which to be fair, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even know CM Punk was still wrestling. I thought that man retired like multiple times. Like, I did not know CM Punk was still wrestling. So the fact to see CM Punk still wrestling and he's still in this is cool to me, because I love CM Punk. Now, one person I really do need to retire is Rey Mysterio. I'm not gonna lie to you. I love Rey so much to death. But boy, you are too old to still be wrestling. There's no more 619s. It's a 611. Like, you know what I mean? Turn the 6 upside down, 911. You're gonna have to, you know what I mean? You and Randy Orton need it, and I love Randy too. He was doing stuff with Sexy Red, which I didn't even know. That's why that's why Randy's, you know what I mean? Randy that guy, bro, you know what I'm saying? Wrestling fans, let me know. What do I need to know? What do I not need to know? Cause I'm gonna be honest with you, on stream, I'm probably like, you know, you come through, you know me, tell me what's up, you know what I'm saying? I would love to dive into some wrestling stuff, get to know lore and stuff, cause I missed a lot. I missed 10 plus years of stuff, you know, cause I haven't watched wrestling in literally 10 years, so I don't even know what's going on really. So like, you know, wrestling fans, you know what I'm saying, if y'all see this, you know, let me know what's going on, bro. You know, basically to myself, I don't know, maybe I'm making a video to myself, but like, is it too late for me to really get into wrestling? I'm gonna see. I feel like once WrestleMania comes, I'm going to make that judgment myself. I think WrestleMania is in February, if I'm not mistaken, right? February or June. It's around that time. So we'll see. I've seen the crowd interactions with a lot of these. I feel like a lot of the wrestlers nowadays are kind of like, I feel like there's a lot more heels than there are like, you know, baby faces. I've seen a lot of like changes, like, you know, like they're not, you know, a lot of the legacy acts, they still engage with the crowd and stuff, you know, things of that nature. But like a lot of the new acts, I don't know, some about the wrestling, like there's some good aspects of the wrestling that I saw just from off 2 events that I seen that I like, but I feel like the crowd engagement and like, you know, like it's just something about that old school wrestling sauce that is just, I feel like it's kind of missing for me. Now maybe I might be prejudging because, you know, I only seen 2 events, so I haven't really watched the inside, you know, episodes of wrestling or whatever, you know what I mean? But from what I've seen from at least 2 main events, which I feel like these ain't the best 2 events you can really judge it off. So yeah, maybe these ain't the best 2, you know, events you could judge it off of. But from what I've seen, for the most part, it just wasn't really all good. Like they had some good matches on the Survivor Series, and Saturday night main event that just recently passed, like this Saturday, so like 2-3 days ago. So I'm just literally coming off of that, and for the most part, it went by very fast. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hardly really remember what happened, and it just happened like 2 or 3 days ago. Other than maybe somebody winning the world champion belt or something like that, or women's champion belt for the first time. I forgot her name. It was some random girl. I don't know. I don't know her name. Y'all probably know. I'll put a picture up here or something. And then maybe other than that, I remember CM Punk talking to, I think it was Seth Rollins, which I didn't know that man was still, I don't remember seeing Seth Rollins really wrestle like that. So I don't know how long Seth Rollins been wrestling. I just know his name, but you know, other than that, yeah, I don't really remember what happened. I remember Cody Rhodes got into a match with some random dude, and he won, but he had beef with him or something, which I was like, okay, it's so crazy seeing Cody Rhodes now versus when I watched him as a kid, where, you know, he was like just coming into the WWE, you know what I'm saying? You know, his dad, we all know his dad's gold dust, all that jazz, right? And just seeing him literally being trash, like nobody liked Cody Rhodes, to now him being a champion, which well deserved. I'm not gonna lie, like well deserved. He's been wrestling for like literally as long as I've been alive, so it's like he's literally like grew up watching that man's career from the start. Like a lot of the wrestlers we have, like I didn't watch, but Cody Rhodes is one of those. So it's cool to see that, you know, he's in that prime era of a champion, and he deserves it, you know what I'm saying? What American Nightmare, he deserves it, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, like I don't really like, I need to know, is it too late for me, WWE fans, wrestling fans? Is it too late for me? Is some of the fights of these series, these 2, like they go by quick, not a lot of good payouts. I feel like the crowd interaction from what I've seen wasn't really the same as it used to be, especially like I said, the fights were quick as hell. I don't know, is it because I'm a grown adult and I'm doing stuff now versus me being a kid where, you know, I'm more anticipating this or not, but I swear I don't remember these events being like this quick, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that they have post interviews afterwards, like I don't really see a lot of banter, a lot of talking back and forth. There's a lot of things like I'm not seeing that I used to. The only thing I see is Pat McAfee being a announcer now. I didn't even know. Didn't he play football or something? I don't know. Why he announced it? No, I don't know. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's just these 2 events, and maybe I'm not really too tapped in yet, and maybe I should just be quiet and just tap in. I'll let y'all know. I'll come up with an update video like maybe a year or so, or maybe after WrestleMania comes, and then I'll give y'all my opinion. But for right now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I'm not turned off by wrestling, but I don't know if I'm really too tapped in yet. I need something, somebody tell me, I need something to tie me in, you know what I mean? But hopefully y'all enjoy. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You know, your boy gotta get out of here. You know, we passed 20 minutes mark, so just be happy. Hope y'all enjoyed though. I love y'all. I'm out of it. Shout out to the women's wrestling, because that's really probably the only thing that I really thought that was really good. Yeah, and I'm gone. Bye. Ow, wait, I'm gone. I haven't did that in a while.
Cena!